Hello everyone and welcome for this new tutorial. So today we will be back working on our inventory system. Last time we created the component, the inventory component, and now we actually need to create the UI for inventory. So when we press I on the keyboard, we will show our inventory. We will do the same thing as the pickup UI. We'll go into the game database website and find some inventory that we actually like from another game, and we will try to recreate the same kind of inventory UI. So let's get into the game database website and we'll try to find a nice inventory UI. Okay, so here we are in the game UI database. So I will put the link in the description like last time. So you can actually search in here. You can type inventory and we took the screen type. So we see every game with their own inventory. I think we will go with this one. We create this inventory UI because we have a lot of different stuff. We can see on the right in here the height that we are selecting. In here we have some filter. We can see the backpack with the weight that we can have in our inventory. And we have some different icons in here to switch between the different UI. And now we're going to subdivide this image in a UI component. So we can see that we have the main component. I'm going to use this in pretty knowledge. The main component will be in here. Then we can see that we have this widget. So this will also be a component. There will be this component in here. Cut this component. This one will be red because this will be on the player menu. So the green component is the player menu, is the main widget. Then inside this widget, we will have this little widget, and this widget. And after that, we will have this big widget, which will be the inventory. And inside the inventory, we can subdivide a little bit more. Go with purple. There'll be this icon to filter in our inventory. This part in here, up, and this, that's gonna be showing what we have actually selected. Now we can subdivide a little bit more. So in here we have each button. So I'm not gonna make all of them because you will understand the idea. So they're all there. Then in here you have this little component. Then we have this component. And then we have some sorting component in here. In here we have this, an image, some more information. Then there'll be the both button. So we will not recreate everything today. It will be way too long. It will be a very huge video. We will just recreate the main menu with the inventory. And so we have subdivided everything. So we will start recreating this. So we will make the player menu. We'll add the button in here with the inventory in the middle. We will add a little widget there that's going to say backpack. We will not put everything right now because we don't have any weight in our data structure. So we'll go into our widget folder. We'll create a new folder for our player menu. We're gonna open this, create a folder for our inventory. There will also be a folder for our crafting, for example. We will set it up, but we will not work on the crafting today. And inside the inventory, we will have all of our widgets for the inventory. So I will go back to the player menu and I'm gonna create the widget for the player menu. So it will be a user widget, this W_player menu. I will open this. Now we actually need to recreate this widget. So the player menu is the blue box in here, which will contain everything. So this blue box will be a big canvas where we'll be able to place this, and also this big inventory. So we'll start by using the scale box. Up. Scale to fit suggestion buff, that's good. Now we'll use the size box. Up, tac. Width 1080, height 1080, tac, up, okay. And now we'll add a canvas. So that we'll be able to place all of the stuff inside. Now, for example, if I put a button, I actually put it here. And that could be one of the buttons for our menu. First of all, we will create the back button. So in here, there will be a back button. Put it somewhere like this. We'll anchor it on the bottom right. Our button will be 200 by 100. I will put it a little bit bigger, 250. 250 by 90. Okay, that should be good. Background color. Can make it a little bit darker. Like this. Put it darker like that. We forgot to actually put the background. Because as you can see in here, the background is black. So we need a border into the canvas. So it will be the main. Can I put it here? Up. Put it like this. Put 0, 0. We change the brush color to something black like that. Okay, that's cool. In here, we'll add a text. Up, we put the text inside the button. In this text box, we'll put a back like this. And then we can change the color and opacity of the stuff inside. It will be whitish like that. I'll just make this a little bit smaller. 200 by 75. Up. That's cool. We will change it later if we need to change the size. I'm just gonna change the size. If we need to make it bigger or smaller, we will see that later on. As you can see in here, we can actually subdivide this with 3 components. You can see there will be one component in here, one component in here, like here. It's actually better to do it like that because I use the canvas. So I use the anchor of the canvas, so it should be working, but it will be kind of hard to have this perfectly sized all the time. So we will actually add inside the border a vertical box. Inside of this, we have these 2 components. Tac, tac. So let's add up an horizontal box. There will be one horizontal box for these 2. This will just be the component, to be the inventory component. And this, we can add an horizontal box and put this at the end. That should be working. So let's go with that. We'll put that 15. Then there should be another component. We just go with a border for now. So we can actually see the size of each stuff. This will be .8, and then we'll have another horizontal box. I will duplicate this horizontal box. Oh, not in the border, but just under. Voila, like that. Fill, not 1, .1. So that's looking pretty good already. Our back button, which is here, we'll put it in the horizontal box. So now it's here. I will just put it, let me just up. The button, it's very, very small. And then I will just use a spacer to put it on the right. Up. So to be in, not here, inside the horizontal box, but just on top of it. That, and this will be .1. .05. Okay, we need a spacer on the right also. So we'll duplicate this one, put it in the horizontal box, and we will fill up. .1 is too much. And we'll go with this. Can increase the padding on top and bottom to get something a little bit better. So that's some little tricking that you can actually do to change the size of the button. So this is good like that. Keep it like that. We just put this bolt up. Perfect. Now we'll increase this one to .2. Okay. And we need to add one component in here, which should be the name of the menu that we have clicked on. So it should be crafting, clothing, or the inventory. So if it's the inventory, it should be backpack with the size of the backpack. So we'll make that. So into our horizontal box, this one we will add. So we'll go with border for now. We'll not create them right now. We just create the size. So we'll have this border to .3. Then we'll have a spacer to show you how I make it. We actually have this border in here for this component. Then in between, in here, we'll add a spacer. This. Then when we have this spacer, we add this component. And in here, we will need also a spacer to actually put everything at their own place. We have this border that's going to be .2. Then we'll add a spacer into the horizontal box. This spacer, we go fill, and it should be .3. Then we will add an horizontal box because we'll make the button directly in the player menu because it will be clickable in here. It will be easier like that. We add horizontal box. Up. Tac, like that. Pull it fill and .4 should be okay. Make it top align and up like that. Maybe we do middle alignment for now. We'll see after. Up, and we need the spacer for the last part. like that, and this one will be 0.5 probably. So this should be good enough. In this horizontal box, we will add the button. So we'll have spacer up. We start with a spacer for the beginning. Up, then we need a button. Where is my button? I cannot see it. It's small thing like in here. Put this 2.1. Then we need to change the size with the image inside. The image inside will change the height of that button. Then we'll add all of our button up, up like that. Go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 buttons to put. 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, one last one. This. Do fill which number .1, so we'll go .1. Okay, that's nice. Then we need the spacer at the end. So I'm going to duplicate this spacer and put it at the end. So this will be .01 because it has to be a small spacer. Up. We'll add some padding. We can go with a little bit more. 10, 10. And just do 10 in here to do 10 everywhere. That's pretty cool. Now we'll add a text for now because I don't have the image to put inside. So we'll go with text. Otherwise it has to be some image like that. You can see it should be a little square image of a little character, the clothing and stuff like that. We'll just put a letter for now. Let's put up one text in here. Like this. We just put, it should be character, so it should be with C into the middle. Add some padding on top, like 20. 35 maybe. That's nice. Then I will copy and paste in each of the buttons. Then you will have to do the UI as you want. So you can add your little image and stuff like that. Into the background color, I'm gonna make this up almost transparent. This, that's pretty good. How much did I put? Go with .2 up. I'm gonna copy this and put .2 to every one of them. Before working on the inventory itself, we will check how it looks into the game. So we'll add a new input. Not interface. We'll go into input action and we create a new input action. We call this show player menu. Don't need to open this. We'll go into the input mapping context. Add a new mapping. We choose our input action that we have just created. And we can click on this little button and then press I on your keyboard. And this will be the button that we need to press to actually show our player menu. Now we can go in here and do IA show player menu into the enhance action event. And when it's started, we actually show or not the menu. So we can just do create widget. We do it simple and then we will improve. You will see. Create a widget. The widget will be the player menu. We'll actually put this into a variable. Call this player menu. We can put it into his own category. Call this widget. In here into widget, you will have all your variables of the different widgets. So if you have the player health, all of this kind of stuff, you can put them in the widgets. And when you need to access them, to have access to the variable, it's actually easier to go into the widget and find it. If you don't put any category, it will be a shit show in your variable. And now that we have set up our player menu, we will add to viewport. Up, like that. So now our menu will be shown onto the screen. I will show you what will happen. Start the game, press I, and we can see our huge menu. So that's pretty good, but I don't have my mouse. There is no mouse, so I cannot click on anything. So that's not nice. One thing that we need to do, we'll go back in our player character, and in our player character, when we add to viewport the widget, we need to get the player controller. Not this one, get controller. Because get player controller can actually get any player controller in the world. So if you have multiple player, if you are in multiplayer, this one will not work because it will get the player index 0, which will be the first player in the server. So from another character, if you access that player controller, you will do some crazy shit. So don't use this get player controller. Only if you have a single player game, you can actually use this get player controller. Otherwise, just use the get controller, which we will get the controller specific of this pawn. The pawn is the character of this character. So this character, the controller that possesses this character will be get in here. We need to cast, so we'll cast to player controller like this, and we'll do show mouse cursor. We'll put true, and then there is something nice also to do. Is to do set input mode game and UI, and then we can choose the widget that we want to focus. It will be our player menu. So then when we will press I, the player menu will be shown, and the mouse will be shown also, and it will be also in focus. Otherwise, we will have to click on the widget to actually have the focus on that widget. Otherwise, we will not be able to press any button straight away. I will show you what I mean by that. Up, let's go in here. If I press I, the button, they are not working. I have to click first. I will click. I have clicked. And now the button, we can see that the hover works and everything is working. That's why we need to focus on that widget. Up. If I put this now, you will have to trust me. If I press Y, I didn't click. If I go into the button, we can see that they are responding. So that's pretty good. So that's nice. We're actually creating a widget every time we press I. So to optimize this, we will not do that. We will first do an isValid on this player menu. Get this player menu, we do isValid. So if this menu already exists, we don't need to create the widget. If it's not valid, we create the widget, we set the player menu, then we add to viewport. This will be common to both of the thingy. We need to get the player menu first and do add to viewport. Like this. So now we will not be recreating the player menu every time we press I. I have this interface player. I will open this. I will add a new function, which will be unshow player menu. Up. So this will be able to be called from the widget. When we press this button, we will actually go back to the game, so we'll be able to call this function. So in here, I have my interface unshow player menu. I will get, I think I do not have to do this. I just remove from parent. Up. And yeah, we have to get player menu, and we do remove from parent. So it will be removed. We'll remove the widget, and then when we press I again, it will be shown. Okay. Let's just add the logic in this button. So if I scroll down in here, we have onClicked. So when I click on this button, I will get owning player. It will be the owning player of this widget. It will be the controller. Then we do get pawn. Get controlled pawn. So we get the character that is controlled by this controller. And then we can just do unshow player menu. up, like this. And it should be working. The game, press I. If I press back, I'm back to the game. You can see that my mouse, we cannot see my mouse. But we can still see my mouse. I'm not back in the game. I have to click to actually be in the game. So that's bad. So we need to go in our blueprint and in here. You will get this, these two, these three stuff up in here. So we remove from parent the widget. And we need to get the controller, cast it to player controller. We hide the mouse cursor. And we can do set input mode game only. Up like that. So we will be focused in the game. And now I'm in the game. I press I. I'm in the player menu. I click back and I'm back in the game. If I press I, the game is actually working in the background. I will show you. In my widget, not this one, it should be the border, up the black border. If I'm going into the brush color and I change the opacity, like this, you will see that the game is actually running behind. If I press I, you can see, I can actually play the game when I'm in my inventory. For a single player game, it will be pretty bad. For the Long Dark, for example, the game that we have took this UI inventory, we need to actually stop the game. If the player is in his inventory, we don't want him to be attacked by any other outside threat. And to do that, we can just pause the game. So let's get into the blueprint or player character. We can call this set game paused. In here, we'll pause the game. Oops, we pause the game. And in here, we will unpause the game. Press I, you can see that the game is not running in the background. I cannot move, I cannot do anything. The game is completely stopped. If I press back, the game is back working. If I, for example, jump, then press I, I'm still in the air. And if I go back, I will go down. Just be careful to not do that in a multiplayer game. I don't know what will happen if the server actually pauses the game. I think it will pause for everyone. So you don't want to pause the game anytime someone opens his inventory. So we'll have to change the inventory a little bit, maybe show what's going on behind with the opacity, make the inventory a little bit smaller, add an opacity, make the player see what's going on so he can actually remove the inventory and start fighting stuff if there is any issue. I'm gonna put this opacity to 1. That's it for today for the first part of this video. This video will be cut in 2 parts. This first part was on how to create the player menu. So we took a lot of time to figure it out how to go from something existing. So you can actually do the same thing if you have a drawing of the UI that you want to do. You can actually split them in 2 boxes and then figure it out how to add this in Unreal Engine. In the next video that's gonna come a few days after this one, we will see how to make the inventory UI and we'll put it in the player menu. And then we will see how to actually get the inventory from the inventory component and show everything into the inventory in the UI. So we'll do that on the next video. So if you don't want to miss it, don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell to be sure that you get the notification. And leave a like if you like this video and you learn a lot of stuff. I will see you in a few days for the second part of this video. Bye.